All right, guys, today we're taking a look at this Tapo RV30 Max Plus. So this is the robot, vacuum, and mop combination with the auto empty dock. And this is consistently ranked as one of the best budget vacuum mop and auto empty dock combos out there. So let's take a look at what it comes with today, how it works. I'm also going to show you how to get things set up in the app and show you some cleaning demos. So first, let's talk about all the physical features. So of course, here is the robot itself. Right at the top there, you'll clearly see the LiDAR navigator. So there's going to be like a mini camera in here that spins around 360. That's going to help map out your room. Right in front there is the bumper. So you'll see it does go in and out. That's going to help it bump up against objects to be able to clean as close as possible, say to some chair legs, and be able to navigate its way around instead of completely just avoiding that. All right, let's flip this thing around real quick because I want to show you on the bottom that it also has the ability to detect drop-offs. So if you have stairs in your home, you don't have to worry about this thing falling off the stairs. There's 3 sensors right behind the bumper. And then there's this spinner brush here that's going to help clean the corners and the edges of your floor. You'll also see that the wheels here go up and down quite a bit, and that's going to help it go over thresholds. And then here is the brush roll. You can remove it. You can just open the latches here, open it up real easy. And this is an anti-tangle brush roll because if you look in between the bristle parts, you'll see that there are rubber linings, and that's going to prevent the hair from wrapping all around. Okay, taking a look at the back. So this is how you're going to access the dustbin. If you want to be able to manually empty the dustbin, you can just take this out just by pushing down there, pulling it out, and then you can open this compartment, empty it out that way. This is also how you're going to access the HEPA filter. You just turn it around and open the other flap from the other end, and there's your HEPA filter. You can take it out like that and easily wash it. This also happens to be the water tank, and you'll see a rubber flap here. You just pull it open, and then you can fill it with water through that hole. Now you do have that water tank feature because this does have the mopping capability. So this is the mop pad, and you can take this off and put it in the wash to clean it. It's just gonna attach via the Velcro here, and it just loops around the back. And then you'll see these 2 little things that stick out, and that's what you're gonna put into the holes here. You just line it up, click it in, and that's how you attach the mop pad. All right, and there are 3 buttons at the top here. So of course there's the one in the middle for turning it on and off, the power button. To the right of that is a house icon. So you can just click that house icon to have it return to the dock. And then the child lock is to the left. The power button, if it's currently cleaning, will start and pause cleaning if you press on that. And if this thing is currently docked, if you press that home button while it's docked, that's how you access the auto empty feature. All right, and this is the dock itself. Mainly what you're gonna be doing with this is emptying out the dustbin when it gets full. And it's real easy. You just open the flap and then you can pull out the dust bag like that. You'll also see a little tool stored here. So that's gonna be a hair cutting tool on one end, and flip it around, you'll see bristles. You can use that to clean the HEPA filter or the brush roll. All right, so those are the basic features. I'm gonna show you now how to use this thing and how well it cleans. All right, so you'll want to make sure your dock is placed without anything surrounding it. And then of course, the first step will be to map out your house so the robot knows where it's going. So in the app, it'll ask you to start mapping once you've docked the robot to the charging station. So you'll click on start mapping. And here we go. And so basically it'll just start moving around your house. And as you can see in the app, it starts to create a map. It's gonna use that LiDAR navigator at the top to simply create an outline. So this shouldn't take any more than 5 to 10 minutes. All right, it looks like it's about done. And as you can see, it's able to find its way all the way back to the station. And in the app, you'll see a fully mapped out living room. So once you got your house mapped out, the very first thing you'll probably want to do is just make sure that map is all correct. So you can edit that map by going to the top right corner there, clicking on map, and then you'll edit map. And here you're going to see several different functions. So you can actually set virtual walls or no-go zones at the top left there. You can use the room button to merge or separate rooms. You can designate carpet areas and furniture areas. You can even set the cleaning directions, and then you can also rotate maps. So let me just quickly actually rotate the map. And I actually want to merge room 4 and room 2 because that's actually just the kitchen area. So I'll click on room, and then here you'll see divide or merge. So in my case, I want to merge. And then I'm just gonna choose room 4 just by tapping on it. Same with room 2. And then at the bottom there, click on check. And just like that, it is now one room. So you can click on done, and then you can even edit and rename it. So rename it kitchen, and then we're good to go. All right, and just to show you what the virtual wall and no-go zone looks like, you'll click on that. And then to add a virtual wall, for example, you can just click and drag on the circles and move the red line. Or if you want a no-go zone, as you can see, you can click and drag, make the box smaller or larger, move it wherever you'd like, and so on and so forth. Now to actually clean your home, so you'll have three options at the bottom. You'll see rooms, and that's essentially where you can choose and pick the order of the rooms that you want to clean. And then if you swipe up, that's going to give you the ability to choose the cleaning time. So how many times it does a pass, the vacuuming power from standard, turbo, all the way to max. And then the water level if you are using the mop. So if I wanted to clean the kitchen, for example, I would just tap on kitchen. So you'll see a number 1 pop up. But if I also wanted to clean room 3, I'll just tap on room 3 and that'll be second in line. But we'll stick with kitchen for now. And let's say I want to do a cleaning time of just 1 time just to test this thing out real quick, and we'll set it on max. And then we just press that play button. So let's see what happens. All right, once it's done, it'll make its way again back to docking station, and you'll see in the map there a nice little layout of the path that it took to clean. All right guys, so I just want to show you exactly what the dustbin looked like after that cleaning. So you can see here, it definitely does a great job of just cleaning your generic dust. All right, so let's say you want to clean multiple rooms in one go, but you want different settings for each. That's what the custom setting is for. So if you click on custom, and this is where you'll choose different rooms, for example. So let's click on each one. You can edit the order at the bottom there, switch them around as you like. If you click next, you can then modify the cleaning preferences for each room. So kitchen, adjust it that way. You can go down to room 3, change the settings as you like there. Click into room 1, change the settings as you'd like. And then you click next, name that preset, and then you can save it. And then you can access that preset next time you want to clean. All right, so you will see a button at the bottom there in the middle for home, and that's basically if you just want to clean the entire house. So the entire map that you mapped out, you can click on home. Now, if you want to clean a specific area of your room, you can click on zones. So let's say I only want to clean this part of the kitchen. I can move the box there. I can resize it if I want to. I can go down here, swipe up again, and choose the settings that way. And then finally, you can adjust the settings at the top right there if you click the 3 buttons, and this is where you can set schedules. All right, so let's say I wanted to start at 9, and then you can go down to cleaning preferences. Instead of everywhere cleaning, I wanted to specifically clean the kitchen. So we'll go into room cleaning. You can choose between fast cleaning and custom again. And this is where you can actually access the presets that you created earlier. And then at the bottom, you can choose the days if you want it to repeat for every day or just a specific day. And now you have a scheduled cleaning. And then the settings option, you can go there and you can click on, say, emptying settings. You can choose between smart to light, balance, and max. In robot settings, you can turn child lock on and off. You can set a do not disturb time. You can even adjust the robot vacuum volume or completely turn it off and choose the language. And then the only other thing worth mentioning would be the maintenance option. And this is where it'll let you know the condition of all the component parts here so you know exactly when to replace them. All right, so let's take a look at this thing in action to see how well it cleans up food from the floor. All right, so I placed some food down on the floor and just told the robot to go do a spot clean on it. You'll see there's cheese right next to that, some popcorn, some spaghetti over there, and then pieces of cucumber over there. So let's see how well this thing does. All right. So that's pretty amazing. Now I set this thing to do 3 passes, but as you can see here, it was able to take care of all that in just 1 pass. So I can literally just send this thing home right now because it already cleaned everything up. All right, so here's that same exact test, this time over carpet. So let's see how well it does here. All right, guys, so I hope that helps you make a decision on whether this thing will be right for you today, but definitely one of the better budget robot cleaners out there, so definitely check this thing out today.